ABC News, Moscow.
A New York jury finding a Bangladeshi immigrant guilty of trying to set up a pipe bomb in a city's subway station.
Ullah wanted to inflict maximum damage.
Smith is live in the desk.
Turnout is enormous. Midterm rate. It is relative since many have skipped these in the past, but even half of active voters have cast ballots so far, and that was just as of 4 p.m. in Alexandria, nearly 60%, and that's all before the usual evening rush. In Fairfax, that already tops 2010 and 2014 turnout. In Loudoun County, 4 p.m. turnout was 42%. In 2014, it was 28%, so up huge. Lines reported elsewhere, too. Remember, stay in line if you are in line before polls close. We're watching several tight congressional races in Virginia as bellwethers for the nation. In Maryland, Republican Larry Hogan confident in the governor's race. We're watching Congress, the General Assembly, and local county executive and other county races. Lots of ballot questions, too. In D.C., more people are voting than 4 years ago also, with the at-large council race in the limelight this time. Again, polls close at 7 tonight in Virginia, 8 in Maryland and D.C. We'll get results soon after. Live at the election desk, Max Smith, WTOP News.
Thank you, Max. WTOP's Michelle Bash is with Larry Hogan's campaign this evening.
He surprised many when he was elected in 2014. Now he's trying to become the first Republican governor to win re-election in Maryland since 1954. Polls in recent months showed him leading Democrat challenger Ben Jealous by 15 to more than 20 points. Polls also show Hogan has strong support from both Democrats and African.
And just so y'all know, this is just soundbite. That's why there was a glitch.
Up on stage, and 2 huge screens are set up to show election results throughout this night. At the Westin Hotel in Annapolis, Michelle Bash, WTOP News.
WTOP's Kate Ryan is with Hogan's opponent, Democrat Ben Jealous, and we'll hear from her later on.
Will voters re-elect D.C. Council member Alyssa Silverman or replace her with Dion Reeder, who runs a restaurant in Anacostia and is a community activist? The race for an at-large seat on the council. One to watch tonight as Mayor Muriel Bowser has gotten behind Reeder. Now, Silverman backed D.C.'s paid family leave law and has been critical of agencies in the district. She objected to the council's decision to overturn Initiative 77, which would have raised the minimum wage for tipped workers. Bowser, D.C. Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton, and Attorney General Carl Racine are all expected to be easily reelected.
Keep it here. We have your forecast coming up next. It's 6:07. A Promise of Medicine report.
So, while we got a commercial going and stuff, and what's crazy about this area, Northern Virginia, is you got Baltimore, D.C., and some of the wealthiest parts of Virginia. So, yeah, things to consider.
And setting the standard of excellence in patient care, education, and research in the greater Washington, D.C. region. Together, we deliver the promise of medicine. Visit hopkinsmedicine.org. That's hopkinsmedicine.org.
WTOP at 6:08.
Right now, get a new roof for just $99 a month at longroofing.com.
Traffic and weather on the 8s and when it breaks.
As the weather for the evening has moved across the Chesapeake Bay and diminished, fortunately, the road's beginning to dry and we're not having to slog through a rainy evening to get to the polls. With caution, please. In the dark, we're still looking for pedestrians, bicyclists, motorized scooters, and around the polling places, folks going to or coming back from casting their ballots. Having said that, the interstates in Maryland and Virginia, no major mishaps. Volume will take a while to ease. However, in Fairfax, on the Fairfax County Parkway, southbound from 66 and Lee Highway, northbound from before Pope's Head Road. The crash between Braddock Road and Pope's Head Road. Last update had traffic southbound squeezing by around a large EMS response, squeezing by in a single file to the right. Northbound side, north of Pope's Head Road, the first responders were on the left side of 286. In Prince George's County, on Route 202, southbound from Riverdale Baptist and Watkins Park. The accident heading toward Upper Marlboro near the police lodge. And the last the southbound lanes were stopped. Northbound was getting by. Traveling in the district along Western Avenue between Massachusetts Avenue and River Road. The accident scene about midway in between. Traffic was getting by squeezing to the right. 2 cars likely will have to be towed. Fire department arrived just a few minutes ago. All of this on Western Avenue. WTOP reporters have driven by Fitzgerald Auto Mall. Find your next new car with a no-haggle Fitzway low price and sample payments on the windshield of every car. Transparency and trust. That is the Fitzway. I'm Bob Marburg, WTV Traffic.
Amelia Draper, things cleared out nicely just before the sun left.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw a lot of beautiful rainbow pictures across the area. Skies continue to clear overnight tonight. Temperatures fall into the 40s, so it's a chilly start tomorrow morning, but a pleasant day overall with highs in the low to mid 60s and plenty of sun. 50s out there on Thursday. Rain is back on Friday. And then for the weekend, highs only in the 40s, but we do have plenty of sunshine and at least dry conditions out there for the weekend. Outside of our studios right now here in Northwest Washington, 60 degrees, 57 degrees in Clarksburg, and Laurel coming in at 58.
Thanks so much, Amelia. 6:11 on WTOP. You have now about 49 minutes to get in line to vote in Virginia. You have until 8 o'clock tonight in Maryland and D.C. The voters have a wide range of issues, and one of them stood out with some people who cast their ballots this evening in Fairfax County.
Whether they're Democrat or Republican, several people here hit a common theme politicians to consider. Civility.
Marijuana.
Rusty Hayes is a supporter of President Trump who had never voted before in a midterm election. I wanted to see some change. I want to see them get along better. That's the main thing. Because politics has become just really jaded and really, it's almost cutthroat now. He says he plans to vote in the midterms from now on, and election officials say many others have made this midterm a priority. In Fairfax County, Mitchell Miller, WTOP News.
It is 6:11 here on WTOP, and tonight on Core Values. Chris is impressed with local voters this election night, but less impressed with what was waiting for them at the polling place.
I have voted at the same polling place for more than 25 years. Today was the busiest I've ever seen it. It's an off-year election. It was pouring rain. Plus, to be honest, living in Montgomery County as I do, I could already tell you who will win with one exception, the county executive race. Still, something is motivating people to vote in big numbers today. I'd like to comment on the system by which we vote, however. At my polling place, it seems to change every election. We used to vote on computers, just touch the screen. And then for a while, we voted by punch ballots, think hanging chads. Today, we voted by filling in the little round circle next to the name we want, kind of like the way we took tests in high school. This slows the whole process down quite a bit, as after filling in your circles, you have to put your ballot into a scanner. I'm not sure why we've gone to this new system, but personally, I prefer the 21st century touch screen approach. However, wearing my I voted sticker proudly today is a core value.
Chris Core, part of commentary and analysis from all sides on WTOP. Stay with us for Clinton Yates. Next hour at 7:35 and at WTOP.com.
6:13.
Oh, shopping spree, When I stand, she's back to see. Make sure you play.
Can I, like, pause this? Alright. I'm not going to put you through all that crap. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to hobo live for a second, right? Because that's what I am right now, is I'm a hobo. Alright, so. Again. Being I'm a hobo, no, I can do better than this. I can't see, like, what the junk in the game is anyway. Alright, hold on a second. There we go. We can do something like this. Alright. So, I'm making a sandwich. I'm making a sandwich and a half of one just because I want to get rid of the butt. And I'm kind of snacky. So, keep that going on. And like one of the things about being a hobo is that go into a place and you friggin' hijack condiments. Boom. Mayonnaise boosted. So that one's going there. This one might go on both. And then kind of disorganized, so I might have to wait till after the commercial break. That's the what do I do with the there you go.
What's the big sports news, Dave?
Well, Hillary, men's college basketball is Maryland beginning its season next hour, hosting Delaware. Coach Mark Turgeon impressed with a 6 freshman class that includes prime prospect Jalen Smith.
So he's learning 2 positions. Normally a freshman, young guy, you'd only make him learn 1. But he's so talented, he's learning the 5 and the 4. And that gets a little complicated at times, but he's a smart kid, so he's been able to pick that up.
7 p.m. tip-off, same game time for George Mason and Penn, George Washington and Stony Brook, Virginia and Towson. Navy's at Old Dominion at 7. Georgetown hosts Maryland Eastern Shore at 8:30. Coach Patrick Ewing plans to rely on senior center Jesse Govan.
He should be poised and ready to take on whatever comes. That's one of some of the things that he and I sat down and talked about. He has to go out and perform every night.
For more on the Hoyas and the Terps, check out our previews on the sports page at WTOP.com. NBA Wizards visiting Dallas. Coach Scott Brooks and Dwight Howard on the floor for the 3rd straight game.
It's hard to come in a game and get 20 points and the next game get 10 and 10 and impact the game defensively. And his ball movement and his ability to talk and communicate on the court. So it's at a good level, but it's not at his level that he wants to get at.
8:30 tip-off on 1500 AM. Injury update: Oklahoma City guard Russell Westbrook sits out tonight's game against Cleveland with an ankle sprain. NHL Chicago fires coach Joel Quenneville, who helped the Blackhawks capture 3 Stanley Cups. Capitals off this evening. They take on Pittsburgh tomorrow night at Capital One Arena. NFL, no quarterback changes in Dallas for the New York Giants, although according to one team's coach and owner, that might have been the possibility. That is not the case. Eli Manning, Dak Prescott, both starting next weekend. Live at Xfinity Center, Dave Preston, WTOP Sports.
All right, David, 6:17. WTOP Sports. And I know what you're thinking. You want to lose some weight, but you'll put it off and you'll get to it at some point. Well, you and I both know you're not going to get to it, but here's what you're going to do. You need to do what I did. Start working with the great folks at EMP 180. I've lost 25 pounds and feel great. People stop me all the time and ask me how much weight have I lost and ask me how I did it. Keep in mind, this is not a diet. It's a lifestyle change, and it works. EMP 180's experts, they care. They really care. They go above and beyond, folks. Phone calls, emails, restaurant info, anything you need, they're there for you. EMP 180 empowers you to lose the weight and keep the weight off, leading to a longer, healthier life. I had to go out and buy half a new wardrobe, but let me tell you, that's a great problem to have, thanks to EMP 180. Start EMP 180 today, and feeling great will be the best gift you've ever given yourself. For a consultation in Alexandria, Woodbridge, Tyson's Corner, or the newest location in Ashburn, call 855-0180. Visit EMP180weightloss.com or Google EMP180.
Slower clogged drains, plumbing emergencies can be stressful and happen at the worst possible times. Don't let a plumbing problem become a plumbing disaster. Call the family of Michael & Son for prompt and reliable 24/7 service. No plumbing job is too big or too small. Our licensed plumbing professionals arrive at your home ready to get the job done right. So clear your drains, not your wallet, and get $100 off a drain cleaning today.
You can, we can. Michael and Son.
6:18.
Traffic and weather on the 8s and when it breaks.
In Virginia on the Fairfax County Parkway, north and southbound, slowed. The crash scene midway between Braddock Road and Pope's Head Road. The southbound lanes of the Fairfax County Parkway with delays that begin at or before I-66. Traffic was getting by the response to the crash by squeezing in a single file far to the right. Northbound with delays that begin before Pope's Head Road, getting by the scene by squeezing in a single file to the right side. Overall, the Virginia interstates between the 14th Street Bridge and the Beltway, the Occoquan and points to Prince William and Stafford. No major incidents in the way. Volume comes in separate stretches. I-66 west and eastbound, anywhere between the Roosevelt Bridge and Haymarket. No incidents pending in or off the roadway, at least none drawing attention in either direction. Volume, that's going to slow the pace for a while yet. In the district, the northbound lanes of the Rock Creek Parkway, leaving the Independence Avenue, Ohio Drive, and heading north of the Memorial Bridge. The standing water earlier, by now it may have receded, but at last report, the northbound lanes of the Rock Creek Parkway do remain blocked with traffic diverted onto the Potomac Freeway towards Virginia Avenue, toward the Whitehurst Freeway. The traffic signals K Street, the Whitehurst Freeway, 27th Street, technician.
Continue to track clearing skies overnight tonight with temperatures falling into the 40s. Mostly sunny tomorrow with highs in the low to mid 60s. On Thursday, we're cooler. Temperatures only in the 50s throughout the day as clouds increase with their next storm system approaching the area. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Amelia Draper.
59 outside the Glass Enclosed Nerve Center, brought to you by Bellis Glass. For all of your mirror, glass, and shower door needs, visit bellisglass.com.
622.
No results yet with Election Day polls closed in parts of Kentucky and Indiana. Every seat in the House of Representatives is up for grabs, and ABC's Scott Goldberg at the decision desk has more on what motivated those voters.
Is this election a referendum on President Trump? In our preliminary exit polls, 39% of voters say they cast their ballots to show opposition to the president, versus 26% who say they voted to show him support. 33% say the president did not factor into their decision today. And when it comes to impeachment, a majority of voters, 55%, say they do not favor impeaching him and removing him from office.
There are 35 Senate seats in play, along with 36 governorships. When it comes to casting votes, ABC's Lana Zach says
the Department of Homeland Security says there are no major issues of cyber activity related to election infrastructure security. They are seeing some instances of misinformation about voting, but they believe those to be mostly legitimate mistakes.
A 10th congressional district, the Republican incumbent Barbara Comstock is fighting to keep her seat against Democratic challenger Jennifer Wexton. Will tonight's brisk voter turnout help the incumbent? Let's go to WTOP's Kyle Cooper.
Barbara Comstock's supporters say absolutely, but we really won't know for a few more hours. Some voters I talked to seem to want change.
If we can get some Democrats in there, then we might have a chance.
There's not much of a difference, in my opinion, between a Republican or a Democrat.
Still, another voter reminded me that Comstock won big 2 years ago, and he thinks she will pull it out again tonight. In Ashburn, Kyle Cooper, WTOP News.
I'm Dick Liliano with the Jennifer Wexton Congressional Campaign in Sterling, Virginia. The stage is being set here for what Democrat Wexton's friends and supporters hope is a victory party. The Virginia State Senator has mounted a strong challenge to Republican Congresswoman Barbara Comstock. Wexton campaign spokesman Aaron Futchner expects a big crowd here tonight.
We are jammed up in terms of the number of people that will fit in this room, the number of people who have said that they're going to come.
Fletcher says there's cautious optimism. Wexton can become the first Democrat to represent this 10th congressional district in nearly 40 years. Dick Iliano, WTOP News.
Keep it here with WTOP throughout the night and tomorrow morning as we give you team coverage and analysis when those election results come in. Tonight you'll have Dimitri, Veronica, Max Smith will be helping deconstruct things and the whole team, so keep it here at WTOP.
We've got money next at 6:24.
Hosting Thanksgiving is a full plate. It's gluten-free, yes for different food preferences, trying out new recipes. That's why I shop at Giant. I get everything I need, like Nature's Promise turkey, free from antibiotics, and hors d'oeuvres, like dragon no eggs.
Why isn't the game on?
At Giant, we're making the holiday easier, so you can spend more time with your family and friends. The little things are Giant. Pre-order your complete Thanksgiving dinner at Giant today.
America continues to be attacked by nation-state cyber adversaries. Does your agency have visibility into your computer systems where the attacker is focused? Can you prove ransomware, malware, and APTs don't exist in your environment? I'm Damon Cavanias, head of Carbon Black Federal. Only Carbon Black gives you complete visibility to detect and prevent attacks, get to the root cause, and lock down critical systems. Carbon Black is a leading threat hunting solution approved by CDM for Phase 3 Defend. Learn how to hunt for threats on November 15th. Register at carbonblack.com/federal. Money News brought to you by Lowe's.
Pros in the know start with Lowe's to save on supplies they need most from the brands they trust to help get the job done on time and on budget. Visit Lowe'sForPros.com for details. Your money at 25 and 55 on WTOP.
And here's Jeff Clay. Wall Street rally again today, but the closing bell, the Dow was up 173 points. The S&P 500 index up 17. NASDAQ up 47 points as well, 0.5% gains. Pandora stock rallied. The music streaming service says subscription revenue last quarter was up 49%. Sirius XM is buying Pandora. Electric scooters in district will have to slow down. Rules effective next year require e-scooter companies to cap their speed at 10 miles per hour. Big job there for electric astronauts soon to do that at FedEx Field Thursday. About 70 employers are dealing with on-the-spot job offers. It's from 11 to 3. Online registration is at recruitmilitary.com. Jeff Taylor, WTOP Money.
Thank you, Jeff. 626.
High-risk programs, information silos, and disconnected government experiences are a thing of the past. Pega transforms your organization from digital chaos to streamlined digital automation. Pega's no-code software includes artificial intelligence, robotic automation, and a unified government-ready platform. Pega empowers your employees, streamlines your operations, and delivers personalized experiences to the right people at the right time. Now that's digital transformation done right. Pega.com/government.
Today's Innovation in Government report highlights the government's IT modernization challenges. Ellen Sundra, the Vice President of Systems Engineering for Full Scout Technologies, says too often agencies struggle with the network discovery portion of cybersecurity. You look at all of the industry best practices, NIST, you look at their frameworks, you look at standards and security controls. Step number one is always hardware asset management. You gotta know what's getting connected. And I think it's where we struggle the most, not only within the programs like CDM, but just across our customers. It's so eye-opening to see, oh my goodness, why do I have Xboxes on my network? That's really eye-opening. And the thing is where the organization struggles, there's no policies around that. I think that that is where a lot of customers stumble, is that first step of saying, oh my gosh, I just found out all of these devices are on my network. Let Core Scout Technologies, Carasoft, and their reseller partners help you imagine what your agency is capable of. Learn more at carasoft.com/innovation. That's carasoft.com/innovation.
628. Traffic and weather on the 8s and when it breaks.
In Virginia, with only 30 minutes to get to a polling place on Fairfax County Parkway, 286. The accident midway between Braddock Road and Pope's Head Road. The southbound lanes at 286 slow near I-66 and getting by the accident by squeezing in one single lane to the right. The northbound lanes at 286 slow from about Center Parkway, but both of the northbound lanes past the accident scene between Pope's Head and Braddock, they do get by. The interstate's faring better. Some volume, no major incidents between Roslyn and points west of Haymarket, north and southbound between Springfield and Stafford, and on 395 into and out of the city. Across the southeast-southwest freeway, traffic remains heavy. We've had no indication of anything stopped and or blocked in the way. Callers tell us the northbound Rock Creek Parkway past the Kennedy Center remains blocked for whatever remains of the water. Traffic diverted on the Potomac Freeway. The Rock Creek Parkway, the accident was, well, south of, if you're northbound, before the ramp comes down from P Street, but it was in what would normally be the southbound lanes. Western Avenue, midway between Westmoreland Circle, Massachusetts Avenue, and River Road. Responders with the crash. Traffic had been getting by squeezing single file to the right in each direction. Living in Centerville, Chantilly, or Fair Lakes, let the Fairfax Connected do the driving for you during the construction along I-66. Take the Fairfax Connected to the Vienna Metro on weekdays for just $1. And for stops and schedules, log on to fairfaxconnector.com. I'm Bob Marburg, WTB Traffic.
Any showers east of Washington quickly come to an end during the evening hours, and we'll continue to track clearing skies overnight tonight with temperatures falling into the 40s. Mostly sunny tomorrow with highs in the low to mid 60s. On Thursday, we're temperatures only in the 50s throughout the day as clouds increase with our next storm system approaching the area. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Amelia Draper.
59 degrees in Washington.
Whether your focus is on federal sales, strategy, or business development, Bloomberg Government delivers the best-in-class data, tools, and analytics federal contractors need to help shape strategy, execution, and pipeline, all in one place and all for one price. With BGov, government contractors maximize opportunities, make smarter business development investments, and win more federal contracts. To see Bloomberg Government's digital solution in action, visit bgov.com/radio.
There are two group term life insurance policies solely dedicated to civilian federal employees, WAEPA and FEGLI. The difference? Chances are WAEPA premiums will cost you less, up to 89% less. Today, WAEPA offers affordable rates, millions in premium refunds. And unlike FEGLI, you can keep your WAEPA policy if you leave the government. Visit WAEPA.org to compare rates and see how much you could save. WAEPA, affordable life insurance, and more.
From Richmond to Baltimore, from the Chesapeake to the Shenandoah, this is WTOP, Washington's top news, on air and online at WTOP.com.
Good evening, I'm Sean Anderson.
I'm Hillary Howard, Latisse Clark at the editor's desk coming up.
Election Day 2018 with voters across the nation deciding who will lead the House and Senate.
Voters in Virginia have less than 30 minutes to get to their polling place. In Maryland and D.C., you've got till 8.
Voter fraud, is it a real problem? We'll talk about it at 6:40.
A life is saved at a D.C. polling site. I'm Mike Murillo.
On Wall Street, the Dow closed up today, 173 points. NASDAQ was up 47, and the S&P up 17.
The Wizards are in Dallas tonight, and college basketball returns.
It's 6:32.
Polls have closed in parts of Kentucky and Indiana, and just a half hour left to vote in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, New Hampshire, South Carolina, Vermont, and Virginia. The president telling Republicans to pretend he's on the ballot. Many Democrats are doing the same. ABC's Scott Goldberg is at our New York decision desk.
The preliminary results in our national exit poll tells us 44% of voters today approve of President Trump's job performance, while 55% disapprove. And when it comes to Congress, even though each race has to be fought district by district, the overall sentiment leans to the left. Voters say they'd like to see Democrats take control of the House by a margin of 53 to 43%.
And we're seeing record turnout for a midterm election today. Voter rights watchdog group Common Cause says the average wait time to vote in the Atlanta area this afternoon was 3 hours. Long lines, one of the reasons Chicago will seek a court order to allow for extended voting hours in 5 of the city's more than 2,000 districts. With continuing coverage, Election 2018, Dave Packer, ABC News.
And WTOP will have team coverage all through the evening. Among those who will be analyzing the results tonight, WTOP Capitol Hill correspondent Dave McConnell, today on the Hill.
Just to review, all of the House and a third of the Senate are on the ballot. Democrats need 23 seats to retake the House. 35 Senate seats are contested. Turnout's been large. Whether that's good for Republicans or Democrats remains to be seen. Democrats feel they're winning the message war, hammering Republicans for trying to eviscerate Obamacare and its protections for pre-existing conditions. Endangered Republicans insist they always wanted to save the popular parts of the Affordable Care Act. Whether voters agree remains to be seen. GOP leaders privately complain President Trump's muddled their message of a good booming economy with warnings of marauding migrants heading to the U.S. southern border. Settle back, take a deep breath. It's likely to be a long evening. Dave McConnell, WTOP News.
Well, you've got 26 minutes to get in line to vote in Virginia. In Maryland and D.C., you still have about 90. WTOP's Max Smith is live at the election desk, and he's got more on how the vote's going. Max?
Big turnout for a midterm race, and preliminary exit polls suggest in Virginia, a majority of voters see the country as on the wrong track. In Loudoun County, turnout surged past 42% around 4 p.m. That's up from just 28% at the same time 4 years ago. In Fairfax County, even before the evening rush to the polls, more than 53% of active voters had cast ballots. That's more than the total in either 2010 or 2014. Remember, as long as you are in line by the time polls close at 7 in Virginia or 8 in Maryland or D.C., and you stay there, you can vote. D.C.'s at-large council race, Maryland's governor's race and General Assembly, and the congressional and Senate races in Maryland and Virginia are the key national races. That's in addition to local races like Montgomery, Frederick, Howard, and Anne Arundel County Executive, Arlington County Board, Manassas, and Orange Park, Herndon, and East River Councils, and Prince William County School Board. We expect the first results here on WTOP shortly after polls close. Live at the election desk, Max Smith, WTOP News.
This is Kate Ryan in Baltimore with the Ben Jealous campaign. Jealous, the Democratic candidate challenging Republican Governor Larry Hogan, is counting on high turnout to get a win, and he's spending the last hours before the polls close visiting a few more polling places. Then he'll circle back here to the Hippodrome Theater in Baltimore City. Jealous has pushed a progressive platform, and while he's trailed Hogan in the polls by double digits when visiting polling centers and thanking volunteers today. With the Jealous campaign in Baltimore, Kate Ryan, WTOP News.
And of course, the Larry Hogan campaign, he's the incumbent governor in Maryland. WTOP's Michelle Bash is with their folks tonight. We'll stay with WTOP for the latest.
We'll talk about the latest claims of voter fraud and what they mean. That's coming up after traffic and weather, 6:36.
You like a good fit. We get it. Your best running shoes, your lucky cap, your favorite pair of jeans. Your favorite things feel made for you. Your education should too. University of Maryland University College was founded more than 70 years ago to serve working adults and the military. Today, we continue that tradition by offering frequent start dates so you can get started on your schedule with convenient online learning, and by providing no-cost online resources, replacing most textbooks, because a college education can work for your wallet too. University of Maryland University College, State University, global campus, made for you. Earn a respected bachelor's or master's degree from the State University made for working adults like you. With online and hybrid courses at more than 20 locations in the D.C. metro area, UMUC gives you the flexibility you need, and you can earn credits for prior experience. Visit umuc.edu/radio. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
If you need more closet space, Closet America to the rescue. If you need better organized closets, Closet America to the rescue. If you need a closet designed for your unique needs, Closet America to the rescue. Hi, it's Chris Core. Closet America really does perform closet miracles. They listen to your needs, design the closet on a computer with your input, and then turn your closet into a Closet America masterpiece. Right now, they're offering 30% off and free installation. ClosetAmerica.com. Closet America. Everything in its place perfectly.
Demand for qualified engineering and technology professionals is skyrocketing. Meet the demand with specialized Master of Engineering programs designed for working engineers and technical professionals from the top-ranked University of Maryland Clark School of Engineering. The Clark School provides the technical expertise and flexibility you need to advance your career, with courses offered on campus and online. Learn more at UMD's Graduate Engineering Open House, December 5th. RSVP at advancedengineering.umd.edu/open house.
638.
Right now, get a new roof for just $99 a month at longroofing.com.
Traffic and weather on the 8th and when it breaks.
In Virginia, on the Fairfax County Parkway, the driver is trying to get to the polls, north and southbound, slowed by the crash. The crash, south of Braddock Road, north of Pope's Head Road. Delays southbound beginning near I-66 and getting by the accident. Been in a single file squeezing to the right. Northbound, with delays in the Burke Center Parkway. The northbound lanes at 286. The travel lanes getting by. In Prince George's County, new accident westbound on University Boulevard, heading toward Adelphi Road at the intersection with the Paint Branch Parkway and Metzerat Road, getting by staying to the right on 193. on Route 202 toward Upper Marlboro between Watkins Park Drive 193 and 725. The accident scene near the police lodge. Now, traffic had been diverted around the little neighborhood side street to continue past the crash. It may be close to resolution, but at the very least, traffic on 202 much slower than normal. In the district, Rock Creek Parkway north of Independence Avenue by the Kennedy Center, not yet reopened. Apparently there's still water on the roadway. But also had a crash on Creek Park would be the south of the intersection with, or the on-ramp from P Street, and traffic getting by slowly in the northbound direction. Looking to satisfy everyone in your family? Go to Silver Diner. Silver Diner has everything from vegan and gluten-free to the classic diner favorites that you love. Silver Diner. Come for dinner tonight. Bob Marburg, WTOP Traffic.
Okay, Doug Kammer, at least we're finally drying out after that deluge today.
Yeah, we finally are out of here. You know, 3 inches of rain in the past couple of days. I mean, just amazing. We need to dry out. We are doing so overnight tonight, right on through the day tomorrow. Actually looking at a great day. Look for high temperatures tomorrow.
So far, it seems like we're winning.
Well to the north and west, but
we want to be, but we, the Republicans, because Democrats are too radicalized, and maybe I'm being blinded.
A little breezy, but they had our next system. That system moving in during the day on Friday. Friday, another very wet day, another ½ to 1 inch of rain expected on Friday, so not the best day to go out and about for Friday evening, although we do expect the rain to be over by the time you're getting ready for dinner. Saturday, though, that same storm on Friday ushers in much colder air. We'll only be in the 40s for highs, and we're talking wind chills in the 30s and low 40s by Saturday afternoon. Out there right now, Laurel at 57 degrees, Aspen Hill at 57 degrees, and right now Herndon, hometown, 57.
It's 6:41 on WTOP. Is something fishy going on at polling places here and around the country? President Trump and Attorney General Jeff Sessions have both warned of voter fraud in today's elections, though they haven't presented any evidence to back up those claims.
Oh, just like the Russian collusion.
Joining us to talk about how concerned people may be about this is John Fortier, Director of the Democracy Project at the Bipartisan Policy Center. John, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
What do you...
President's claims are a blatant attempt to intimidate voters. Any signs of that?
Well, I think we're looking like we're going to get some pretty good turnout here, and that's not, that doesn't completely answer your question, but I just think voters should take the lesson that there are a lot of things said about elections, and they really should just go vote. There are potential problems out there, things we can, again, work on as a long-term reform. But as a voter, you should feel pretty good that you're going to go to your polling place and your vote is going to be cast and counted as you intended.
There are a number of complaints across the country this year about voter suppression. Can you talk about what's happening?
Well, I think there are always some concerns, and a number of these come from the complexity of our election system, that we have voter lists held by different states, so we don't have a single list, and people move around. We don't always get people perfectly in the right place, and as these errors add up, it can cause voters to have some problems at the polling place. Again, I think voter suppression is not something that is a very large problem that will disenfranchise many voters, but there are things that voters should watch out for. And again, a piece of advice for those who still have time to vote is often if there's a problem you have at the polling place with a registration, you are allowed to cast a provisional ballot. That will be counted if they can resolve the issue over the next several days or weeks. So,
Director of the Democracy Project, Bipartisan Policy Center.
644. News for today is working for you every month.
Watch News 4 today. We're working for you from 4 to 7 a.m.
It's a get up, go today, new day. Working for you, News 4 today.
At Samsung, we have a bold vision. Transform government by facilitating seamless collaboration and productivity at blazing speeds. We're achieving it with the first FCC-approved commercial 5G fixed wireless solution to enable greater mission capabilities wherever the mission takes you. Together, we will transform government with endless new possibilities.
And here goes the 5G propaganda.
Samsung.com/mission.
On WTOP, here's how Wall Street did today. Jeff Clabaugh.
Wall Street's 2 for 2 so far this week. The Dow up 173 points. Money news in 10 minutes on WTOP.
Sports at 15 and 45. Brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Don't settle for less than a Honda.
What's happening, Dave Preston?
Men's college basketball, Hillary. The season tips off next hour as Maryland entertains Delaware. Coach Mark Turgeon.
What I want to see is just development. I think we've continued to get better. I hope that the bright lights don't intimidate them. I don't think it will, because young guys just come play. Older guys have been through it.
6 freshmen on this roster with Jalen Smith and Aaron Wiggins likely starting this evening. 7:30 tip-off. George Mason plays Penn at 7. Patriots coach Dave Paulson knows the Quakers will pose plenty of problems.
They got a great shooter and a kid named Batley, and they're very, very well coached. So they'll play in a lot of backdoor cuts, a lot of off-ball screens. They're very, very disciplined and very experienced, and we're going to have to play at a very high level.
Other 7 p.m. tip-offs. George Washington entertains Stony Brook. Navy's at Old Dominion. Georgetown meets Maryland Eastern Shore at 8:30.
Blind people from the fucking real problem.
That's 27th in the league shooting the 3. Jeff Green.
We just have to make sure we're taking the best available shot and doing what we have to do to make sure we're in a position where we're getting a good look for a score.
8:30 game time on 1500 AM. NHL Chicago Fire's coach Joel Quenneville, the 3-time Stanley Cup champion, has 890 career wins. That's good enough for second all-time behind Scotty Bowman. Capitals have the night off. They take on Pittsburgh tomorrow evening. NFL New York Giants coach Pat Shurmur says they won't be benching Eli Manning. Dallas owner Jerry Jones says that Dak Prescott remains the Cowboys' starting quarterback. Live at Xfinity Center, Dave Preston, WTOP Sports.
6:47.
Honey, can you get the door? The doctor's here.
Doctor, are you sick?
Not me. I'm afraid the house is sick. The roof is leaking, and I called the roofologist from Exterior Medics.
Hi, I'm Tom with Exterior Medics. I'm here to diagnose and treat your home. We'll get it back to health in no time.
Thank goodness. Right this way.
If you need a doctor for your home, give us a call at 1-800-ASK-A-PRO or visit exteriormedics.com/WTOP. Exterior Medics. We make house calls.
Free estimates and financing available.
The seasons are changing, and that means colder temperatures. If last winter's bitter cold left you with high natural gas bills, help may be one click away. Dave Johnson here. Start planning now for colder weather and take control of your heating bill. With WGL Energy Services, you can choose your natural gas supplier and lock in a fixed price for up to 2 full years. There's no cost to enroll. Just go to WGLenergy.com and use promo code WINTER. That's WGLenergy.com, promo code WINTER.
Imagine you're a pilot, responsible for hundreds of lives. How would you respond to this sound? Or even, pilots train consistently to respond instantly to every possible sign, from autopilot issues to altitude indicators to fire warnings. Thanks to them, the safest place in the world will always be up in the air. Airline Pilots Association, trained through life. ALPA.org/trained for life.
It's 6:48.
Traffic and weather on the 8s and when it breaks.
In Maryland, on the southbound lane for Route 202 from Riverdale Baptist and Watkins Park Drive toward Upper Marlboro. The accident in the southbound lanes near the police lodge. Now, tell us that Route 202. Tow truck's not yet on the scene. The crash remains in the roadway. On Cherry Hill Road, from 29, heading toward Powder Mill before Broad Birch Drive, the crash had traffic turning onto Broad Birch, as of a short while ago from Cherry Hill. In Fairfax County, the Fairfax County Parkway, a crash brought a large rescue response. It'll probably take a little while to finish clearing. All of this midway between Braddock Road and Pope's Head Road on the southbound lanes of the Fairfax County Parkway. Northbound, the delays from before Burke Center Parkway, traffic remains slow, but the travel lanes are open. Southbound from I-66, the Fairfax County Parkway, very slow. Traffic has been getting by, but only by squeezing in a single file on the shoulder to the right. With GEHA, you get a federal-only medical plan that brings you members-only status. The more you look, the better they look. Compare plans at thinkgeha.com. Thinkgeha.com. I'm Bob Barber, WTV Traffic.
Any rain shower now east of Washington will quickly come to an end. Continues to push out of the area toward the east, and we'll have clearing overnight tonight with temperatures in the 40s and low 50s. For tomorrow, mostly sunny, highs in the low to mid 60s on Thursday. Mostly even partly sunny skies with highs in the 50s. Rain is in the forecast on Friday with a chance for showers during the morning hours and then rain likely during the second half of the day. Highs in the low to mid 50s. Chilly for the weekend with highs in the 40s. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Amelia Draper.
We've got 59 degrees in Northwest D.C.
651.
10 minutes until the next group of polls closes in 6 states, several with key races, including Florida. This is ABC's Mark Remillard in Tallahassee, where last-minute voters here in the Florida Panhandle are getting drenched. It's been raining.
That's where I'm going.
All day, but in the final hour of voting, the thunderstorms have arrived, and here on the campus of Florida's A&M University, it is really coming down. That's the campaign headquarters for Democratic gubernatorial candidate Andrew Gillum. He faces Republican Ron DeSantis. Florida's Senate seat also closely contested between incumbent Democrat Bill Nelson and Republican Rick Scott. Democrats need to flip 2 seats to win a majority in the Senate. Every House seat's up for grabs. And ABC's Scott Goldberg at the decision desk says when it comes to House voting, Democrats outnumbered Republicans. According to our preliminary exit polls, Democrats made up 38% of today's electorate. Republicans accounted for...
That's what they say, and the polls are always wrong.
Election 2018. I'm Brian Clark, ABC News.
It's 6:51. This was anything but a humdrum day at one local polling place where a man went to vote and had a heart attack. Fortunately for him, there were some quick-acting heroes close by.
Allie Boback was working
They were
as
Republicans.
a poll observer here at Barnard Elementary School in D.C. when
a gentleman fell right as he was walking to go vote.
she and others jump into action, first by calling 911 as Counselor Sandra Montgomery comforted the 75-year-old man who was a former custodian at the school.
I was like, you're gonna be okay.
911 call taker Janae Wood answered their call.
I said, okay, we need to get someone to initiate CPR.
As one person started CPR, another grabbed the school's automated external defibrillator, or AED, and brought that into the polling site.
Pull green tab to remove pads.
DC fire medic Christopher Boyette then arrived.
He had already regained consciousness by the time we got here.
The man was conscious and talking when he was taken to the hospital. In Northwest, Mike Murillo, WTOP News.
Well, we're down to about 7 minutes for you to get in line to vote in Virginia. You've got another hour and 7 minutes in Maryland and D.C. WTOP's complete team coverage of Election Day 2018 starts in just a few minutes. Our own Dimitri Sotis and Veronica Robinson will anchor the proceedings. We've got our own Max Smith, Dave McConnell, Bruce DePoit of MarylandMatters.org. We've got a whole team of folks here tonight to
got you covered
and take a look at all the numbers. Stay with us.
Let's go, Trump!
When you're chosen to be among the first in the world, it says a lot about your reputation, your character, your experience. Which is why it's no surprise that Dr. Iman Boutros was chosen among the first surgeons in the world to offer the breakthrough technology iDesign 2.0 to his LASIK patients. This is a major advancement for patients who are over 40 and are frustrated with their reading vision. In fact, nearsighted patients reported significant improvements in all measures of visual functioning, including near vision. Plus, with iDesign 2.0, more people are candidates for LASIK, even those with higher astigmatism. So when it comes to LASIK, go with the first name that comes
I made
to
my
mind.
sandwich, by the way.
Call the Eye Center. 888-844-2020 before December 31st, and you'll be upgraded to the iDesign 2.0 LASIK plus a $2,500 savings. Call 888-844-2020 or schedule online at theeyecenter.com. Some restrictions apply based on bilateral procedure.
If this summer made you think about those unsightly varicose or spider veins, or you suffer from heavy, painful, and tired legs, then now is the time to call Virginia Vein Care so that you can feel better, have more energy, and look forward to showing your legs with confidence. At Virginia Vein Care, their board-certified doctors specialize in the comprehensive treatment of vein disease, and unlike other centers, your consultation will be with one of their physicians. Virginia Vein Care uses leading-edge technology, and insurance covers most procedures. doctors. No time off work is needed, and patients return to normal activities the same day. With locations in Tysons, DC, and Purcellville, it's never been easier to take care of those unattractive or painful veins on your legs. So stop putting it off and call 703-506-VEIN or visit virginiaveincare.com. That's 703-506-VEIN or virginiaveincare.com. Feel great wearing shorts and call 703-506-VEIN or visit virginiaveincare.com.
Your money at 25 and 55 on WTOP.
Hello, Jeff Claybach.
Gains again today, but down up 173 points from the closing bell. The S&P 500 index up 17, both better than 0.5%. Still lots of job openings. The Labor Department says U.S. companies had a near record 7 million unfilled jobs in September. 3.6 million Americans with a job voluntarily quit. All-time record for Maryland's 6 casinos last month, generating $158 million in gaming revenue. Almost half of that come from MGM National Harbor, where October gambling was up 40% from a year ago. 6 out of the top 10 companies on a Monster.com list of best companies for veterans are in the D.C. area. Number 1 is Fairfax-based Mantech. 47% of its employees are ex-military. Jeff Claybach, WTOP Money.
WTOP's team coverage of this
ex-pogues. They're pogues. Pogues. Most time they've seen was fucking put on boots.
Don't miss the Mervis Diamond preview show. Mervis Diamond Importers, this weekend in Tysons and Rockville stores only. RSVP at mervisdiamond.com or call 800-HER-LOVE.
The following is a paid commercial message. Donating your car to Melwood benefits injured veterans. Your donation supports healing retreats, workforce training.
Shut up. I'm a damn disabled vet. I see what you've done to me. Stop trying to fucking put these little ponies in front of my face. And you're like, and maybe if you had these attributes, if you had these attributes, fuck off and die.
results in the
latest winners all night long at the WTOP election desk.
I'm Michelle Bash with the Larry Hogan campaign in Annapolis.
WTOP's Kate Ryan is in Baltimore tonight with the Ben Jealous campaign.
With an hour left to get in line to vote, what are the big issues and things to watch in Maryland? Veteran journalist Bruce DeCoit joins us live at 7:10.
The Dow up 173, NASDAQ up 47.
7 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. ABC News can project that Senators Bernie Sanders of Vermont and Tim Kaine of Virginia have won re-election as polls are now closing in about a half dozen states, and as we get a sense for how voters are feeling.
The economy may be booming, but just 41% of voters in our preliminary exit polls say the country is headed in the right direction, while 56% say the country is seriously off on the wrong track. There's a huge gulf between Democratic and Republican voters on this question. Among independents, often considered the swing voters, 29% say the country's headed in the right direction. 32% of independents say it's on the wrong track.
ABC Scott Goldberg at the decision desk. Lines are so long in Georgia that even the Secretary of State and Republican gubernatorial candidate Brian Kemp had an issue at the polls. The soggy election day in the East.
This is ABC's Mark Grimaldi in Tallahassee, where last-minute voters here in the Florida Panhandle are getting drenched. It's been raining on and off all day, but in the final hour of voting, the thunderstorms have arrived, and here on the campus of Florida's A&M University, it is really coming down.
As for election security,
the Department of Homeland Security says there are no major issues of cyber activity related to election infrastructure security. They are seeing some instances of misinformation about voting, but they believe those to be mostly legitimate mistakes. Meanwhile, social media companies say that they are on the lookout for misinformation and taking it down wherever possible.
ABC's Lana Zak in Washington. As for the digital trends, Google says the top trending search in the U.S. is Donde Votar, which is where to vote in Spanish, which spiked more than 3,000%.
Twitter's policy director saying they're deleting tweets deliberately spreading malicious election content, and that includes Twitter bots trying to suppress certain voting groups, or in one case, telling Americans that Republicans vote today and Democrats vote tomorrow.
ABC's Andy Field, voter turnout so strong that some experts predict President...
Those are pranks. Those are pranks. And because the libtards are so retarded, we have to make that friggin' offensive content.
Members, and for good reason. Chances are waiver premiums will cost you less.
Think about it, people. Think about it. No, we can't joke around anymore. Maybe these people took the sticks out of their asses and put it in their damn pussies. Put it in their damn pussy hats. Grab them by the pussy. Pussy, cunt, pussy cunt hat. It's not one of these. It's not a damn pussy cunt hat. Just a representation of the female genitalia, the clitoris, with herpes. He's got these freaking jagged points. I don't want no ears. I don't want no ears on my. On the button of my love machine. That's obnoxious. But that's what's happening. Let's vote.
But there are state regulations, so it might be best to ask before you click. Andrew Gillum actually took a picture of himself voting for himself in the primary, even though he wasn't supposed to.
ABC's Sherry Preston. President Trump held 11 rallies in 8 states leading up to today, and ABC's Andy Field says the president also cast a ballot already.
The president, vice president, and their wives are not out in the rain voting because they used absentee ballots well ahead of Election Day. The vice president and Karen Pence visiting wounded veterans at nearby Walter Reed Hospital, while President Trump is spending the day at the White House.
Because next Monday is Veterans Day.
Returns at home with friends and family.
Or something.
Patrol has called off a crowd control exercise planned near a Hispanic neighborhood along the Texas-Mexico border, just a half-mile from a polling place. The ACLU says the timing seemed aimed at to intimidate Hispanic voters, but the Trump administration denies that, saying the exercise was to prepare for a migrant caravan traveling through Mexico. This is ABC News.
Good evening, I'm Dimitri Sotis.
And I'm Veronica Robinson. Polls have just closed in Virginia, Maryland, and D.C. Voters have one more hour to cast their ballots in the 2018 midterm elections.
WTOP has
real-world direct size.
The country with the full resources of ABC News, the Associated Press, WTOP's Max Smith at the elections desk, and WTOP Capitol Hill correspondent Dave McCollum.
We will bring you results and analysis all night long on WTOP and at WTOP.com.
And right to Max Smith live at the WTOP elections desk.
Well, does this turnout surge today signal a blue wave around here? ABC News already projects Tim Kaine has held his Virginia Senate seat. We'll start getting more results from Virginia in just a few minutes. Democrats hope to flip as many as 4 House seats here. Preliminary exit polls suggest a significant majority of Virginia voters see the country has headed in the wrong direction. There are also local races we're watching in parts of Virginia. Polls are still open in Maryland and D.C. until 8 p.m. Get in line by then and you can vote. D.C.'s at-large council race, Maryland congressional, governor, general assembly, and local county races are our focus there. Live at the election desk, Max Smith, WTOP News.
I'm Michelle Bash with Larry Hogan's campaign in Annapolis. Doug Mayer is his deputy campaign manager.
4 years ago, 2/3 of Maryland thought we were headed in the wrong direction. And now 2/3 feel that we're headed in the right direction. And I think that sums up what this election is about. Are we going to continue going in the direction the governor has led us over the last 4 years, or are you going to turn around and go the other direction?
Hogan is trying to become the first Republican governor to be reelected in Maryland in 64 years, and he appears to have broad support across party and racial lines. Tonight's watch party kicks off this hour here at the West End Hotel with election results on 2 huge screens and a live band. In Annapolis, Michelle Bash, WTOP News.
This is Kate Ryan with the Ben Jealous campaign in Baltimore. Democrats supporting Jealous will be waiting for the election results.
Ben Jealous? Huh. Sounds like a Bart Simpson, like, pub name. Oops.
He intended to get 1 million voters to turn out. Early voting numbers were up over 4 years ago, but how those votes and Election Day votes end up breaking will tell the story. In Baltimore, Kate Ryan, WTOP News.
There is an issue for Prince George's County voters this evening, and WTOP's Mike Murillo is here to tell us all about it.
Yeah, Veronica, we're hearing about some very long lines and some big delays at several sites in Prince George's County, including Brandywine Elementary School, where Sheila tells me she has been there for 3 hours.
And we're at Brandywine Elementary for almost 3 hours. We were told that there weren't any more paper ballots, so they were forced to use electronic ballots.
And for her and others, they've been waiting in the cafeteria. I guess lines, according to her, stretching around the building. We're also hearing about that at the Upper Marlboro Community Center. NBC4's Tracy Wilkins was out.
So we're not even getting real votes.
I did call the Maryland State Board of Elections. I talked to someone there, and they said their lines are being flooded by voters from Prince George's County who have been told to call them and to essentially complain about not being able to vote. And they said that they are sending out some electronic machines to try to help at some of these precincts. But again, you know, a lot of...
So, without being a conspiracy theorist, there's reason to extend the voting hours. At the same time, I don't. This really doesn't make sense, other than the fact that the government did not prepare for a bombardment of voters today. If they didn't prepare for enough voters today, then there needs to be an extension of the voting hours due to the lack of efficiency, and let this be a model for future elections as to what not to do and as to what to be prepared for.
In any event,
Delays as you come south from 450 on the Baltimore-Washington Parkway, and on one of the ramps from Route 32 onto the southbound BW Parkway there, getting word of a crash. Rock Creek Parkway northbound before P Street. The crash had been on the left side, but that was back when it was in one-way operation. Not sure what they're doing now with the traffic around the crash, or whether that's even still in the roadway at this point. Fairfax County Parkway southbound after Braddock Road, the crash is gone. 95 south before 123. In the main lanes, crash blocks the left lane, and then farther south before Dale Boulevard, new crash blocks the right lane. Well, fall is here. Protect your #1 investment, your home, with Gutter Helmet. And this month, save $300 and receive 0% interest until 2020. Schedule a free estimate at 885. Make that 888-5-HELMET. Bob Imler, WTOP Traffic.
Any showers east of Washington quickly come to an end during the evening hours, and we'll continue to track clearing skies overnight tonight with temperatures falling into the 40s. Mostly sunny tomorrow with highs in the low to mid-60s. On Thursday, we're cooler, temperatures only in the 50s throughout the day as clouds increase with our next storm system approaching the area. I'm Storm Team just Amelia Draper.
Temperatures tonight in Washington, we have 59 degrees, 60 in Fredericksburg, 57 in Fredericksburg.
Already a result from Northern Virginia. Senator Tim Kaine projected to win re-election. Let's take you live to Kaine headquarters on Skype and WTOP's Mitchell Miller.
Good evening. We're right here in the ballroom where Virginia Senator Tim Kaine is holding, as you say, when it appears bids were announced, you could hear a smattering of yells, whoops, and applause from people around this area. And this is a who's who of the Democratic Party in Virginia tonight. We'll be talking to various people this evening, including former Governor Terry McAuliffe.
The party. The party.
On Buyer, a lot of people.
We're not invited. We're not invited to the party. So why even choose a party? We're not part of the party.
Between Tim Kaine and his Republican challenger Corey Stewart, Prince William County Board of Supervisors chairman, ran a very tough campaign, supported President Trump all the way, made no apologies about it, went after Kaine on immigration, said that he was in favor of bloated government. But right now, it appears there's going to be a celebration this evening. A lot of Democrats getting organized here and looking to really celebrate this evening another victory for Tim Kaine. If in fact this holds, this would, of course, give him re-election for another term after defeating George Allen in 2012. Reporting live from Falls Church, Mitchell Miller, WTOP News.
All right, Mitch, it is 7:12 in Maryland. Voters are casting ballots for all statewide offices, including governor, for county executive, and for Congress. You have until 8 to get in line to cast a ballot in Maryland tonight.
And joining us live, Bruce DuPoint, senior reporter from MarylandMatters.org. Bruce, let's start with history being made in the governor's race, no matter who wins, if it's Larry Hogan or if it's Ben Jealous taking over. Explain that history and what you see in the race tonight, with many polls for a while now showing that Hogan is pretty comfortable in winning re-election.
Absolutely, and good to be with you. Voter registration in Maryland favors Democrats in a big way. Republicans win the governorship only very occasionally, and when they do, they historically have had difficulty following it up. There's no incumbent governor in Maryland, Republican, that has won the second term since 1954. Larry Hogan is well positioned to do that tonight. So that is some of the history that we could see in the next few hours. Ben Jealous would be, if elected, the Democratic challenger running in Maryland. He would be the first African-American governor in Maryland history, and only the third African-American elected governor in the nation. So tonight.
All right, Bruce, WTOP listeners know the names well in the race in Maryland's 6th District congressional contest, if for no other reason because of all those ads. Republican Amy Hoeber versus Democrat David Trone. What is your feeling about that race, how it will go?
Well, the Hoeber campaign, this is the 6th district seat that has been held by Democrat John Delaney for the last 3 terms, the last 6 years. He's running for president in 2020, so he's not on the ballot this time. This is a district that extends from western Montgomery County through all the way to the western panhandle of Maryland. So the Montgomery County part of the race, the Montgomery County part of the district leans more Democratic. The other counties up toward Garrett are more conservative. Obviously, the Hover camp is hoping to maximize turnout in Washington County and to the west. The Trone camp is hoping to maximize turnout and in Montgomery County because they think that's the most beneficial for him. This has been a very expensive race. A lot of money has been spent on this race. These are both basically millionaire candidates who live, interestingly, outside the contours of the 6th district. So a lot of spending here.
Our final 30 seconds, Bruce. How about the situation in Montgomery County with the county executive? Could the state, you were talking about Larry Hogan before, but could Maryland elect its first Republican executive in more than 40 years? And what do you think about the candidates?
It's not as likely that the county will elect a Republican, but you have a Democrat in Mark Elridge. He was the winner. Councilman Mark Elridge was the winner of the Democratic primary. Councilwoman Nancy Florine, a lifelong Democrat, left the party in August to run for county executive as an independent. So here you have a three-person race. Two of the three, Elridge and Florine, have been on the ballot a long time, successful politicians. Florine is 9-0 coming into tonight, dating back to her time as mayor of Garrett Park, joining the county council in 2002. So two proven vote getters, one of them likely to be the next county executive. What we'll learn in the next few hours is which one will it be.
All right. Thank you so much, Bruce.
Happy to do it. Talk to you later.
That is Bruce DePoit of MarylandMatters.org.
Sports at 15 and 45. Powered by Red River. Technology decisions aren't black and white. Think red.
Our update tonight from Jonathan Warren.
Dimitri, not only is it election night, but also the night for the start of the college basketball season. George Mason just underway at home against Penn. Same for Navy at Old Dominion. Virginia's hosting Towson. George Washington is tipped off at Smith Center versus Stony Brook. Maryland has a 7:30 start against Delaware in College Park, and Georgetown plays Maryland Eastern Shore at 8:30. NBA, the Wizards also have an 8:30 tip in Dallas, a pair of 2 and 17th. And in hockey, the Chicago Blackhawks fired coach Joe Quenneville and 2 of his assistants. Quenneville got the Blackhawks to 3 Stanley Cup championships in 9 full seasons. Jonathan Warren, WTOP Sports.
Coming up, we'll have a special report on midterm elections occurring today of note across the country, and we'll also look at some local races in Maryland. 717. Business banking isn't about a long list of services. It's about listening long and hard to you, then creating customized solutions just for your business. For 20 years, that's how Eagle Bank has helped businesses of all sizes throughout Maryland, D.C., and Northern Virginia. Calling local experts at Eagle Bank. They're always ready to listen. EagleBankCo.com. Member FDIC. Equal housing number. Whether your focus is on federal sales, strategy, or business development, Illinois Government delivers the best-in-class data, tools, and analytics government contractors need to help shape strategy, execution, and pipeline all in one place and all for one price. With Eagle, government contractors maximize opportunities, make smarter business development investments, and win federal contracts. To see your government's digital solution in action, visit eagle.com/radio.
Please join us for a free seminar on lunch in Virginia, D.C., and Maryland is facing. From the latest design trends to insights on climate and environment, Tiffany and our experts will show you how to be a successful Maryland touch.
The next seminar launch is Saturday, November 10th. RSVP now at casedesign.com. Let us inspire you.
Now let's show you tests.
Clearest indication of that is I'm told the president is now telling his advisors and his supporters, don't say that I am on the ballot because I am not.
He's watching returns at the White House. With continuing coverage, election 2018, Brian Clark, ABC News.
WTOP's John Aaron is looking at some local races in Maryland tonight, and John joins us live.
And Dimitri, we're closely watching county executive races in Montgomery, Frederick, and Anne Arundel counties. In Montgomery County, it is a three-way race where a split vote that gives a Republican a win for the first time in more than 4 decades is not outside the realm of possibility, as you were just talking about with Bruce DuPoit. Now, that scenario is at least what County Council member and Democratic candidate Mark Elrich has been saying. He's known for his skepticism of development projects and opposition to big road projects. The Republican is Robin Ficker, a lawyer who successfully led an effort 2 years ago to establish term limits for members of the County Council. And Councilmember Nancy Florine is running as an independent after being a longtime Democrat. She said she's the alternative to two flawed extremes. In Frederick County, Maryland, and Anne Arundel County, the pace of growth and development are big issues in the executive races. In Prince George's County, State's Attorney Angela Olso-Brooks is set to become the next executive as she's running unopposed. The polls close at 8 p.m. We will bring you the results as they come in. John Aaron, WTOP News.
All right, John, coming up, how Maryland's casinos broke a record recently, and which part of our area hires the most ex-military folks? 723.
The hurdles can appear high for agencies transitioning from networks to the Enterprise Infrastructure Solutions contract, but the opportunities are far greater. Listen as Mike Leff, Vice President of Defense, AT&T Public Sector, offers advice to agencies in the third installment of the 6-part series, Transition and Transform with EIS.
Two things come to mind. One is really got to understand the differences between the network's predecessor contract and the Enterprise Infrastructure Solutions contract. It's a different operating model. It's a different business model. And so the better that we collectively understand the strengths and what can be leveraged in the new EIS vehicle, the better off that we're going to be operationally, strategically, as well as financially. On the technical side, I think it's continuing to be very thoughtful and strategic about what can be transitioned and modernized at the same time versus those that are more mission critical systems that are going to take longer.
The time for modernization is now. Hear more from AT&T public sector leaders as they discuss how the EIS contract can help transition and transform federal agencies. Go to federalnewsnetwork.com/EIS ready.
724.
Year 2018 is about to be history, just like your yearly vision benefits. So use it, don't lose it, at My Eye Doctor. Make time for the annual eye exam you might have missed, or get the extra pair of glasses that will make a clear difference in 2019. We have the area's largest selection, including new designer brand collections. Eye care and eyewear. They're better together at My Eye Doctor, Doctors of Optometry. Schedule an appointment today at myeyedr.com.
Oh, wow, look at that. When you're fearless, you can take time to enjoy the view. That's why I have FEP Blue Vision. With free eye exams, fully covered frames, and access to 75,000 eye care providers nationwide, it helps me discover what matters most. There it goes.
You can learn more at fepbluevision.com. Limitations and exclusions apply. See the 2019 FEP Blue Vision brochure for details.
Money News brought to you by Lowe's. Pros in the know start with Lowe's to save on supplies they need most from the brands they trust to help get the job done, on time and on budget. Pros.com for details.
Your money at 25 and 55 on WTOP.
Tuesday gains on Wall Street. By the bell, the Dow is up 173 points. That's 0.5%. U.S. companies had a near record 7 million unfilled jobs at the end of September. Maryland's 6 casinos had a record $158 million in gaming revenue in October, almost half of that from MGM National Harbor. Monster.com's top companies for ex-military. Number 1 is in Fairfax, Mantech International. Military vets make up 47% of his workforce. Jeff Claiborne, WTOP Money.
Virginia's Tim Kaine, Vermont's Bernie Sanders among the projected winners by ABC News so far tonight. The latest results and analysis on this 2018 midterm night here in Washington. Stay with us at 7:26.
Automate business processes and help your government organizations deliver better
support to citizens. Robotic process automation, also known as RPA, is not a buzz term. The results are real. And Automation Anywhere is the right technology platform and partner to help your agency deploy your digital workforce. We're the global leader in robotic process automation and work with the world's largest enterprises and government organizations. Our user-friendly RPA platform allows you to easily create and deploy bots to complete routine repetitive tasks with no coding skills and IT support required. With the highest grade of security and real-time performance insight, Automation Anywhere RPA will maximize your productivity and give your people more time to focus on the more complex critical objectives. Ready to amplify your productivity and lower costs? Get started with a free trial at automation.com/public sector. Your digital workforce awaits at automationanywhere.com/public sector.
In the minutes ahead.
Tonight, on My Take, is the stress of Election Day getting you down? Well, that isn't the case for everyone. I'm Clinton Yates.
727.
Hi, I'm Rich McKenzie, owner of Metropolitan Bath and Tile, with some great advice about bathroom remodeling. Customers tell me all the time they're remodeling their bathroom in preparation to sell their house. There's no doubt that remodeling that bathroom will certainly enhance the value and saleability of the house. But why wait and remodel it for the enjoyment of the new owner? If that customer would have remodeled that bathroom 10 years ago, it would have cost 30 to 40% less than today's prices, and they would have been able to enjoy the beautiful new bathroom for all those years. And built to Metropolitan's high-quality standards, that bathroom would still look like new and would still enhance the value and saleability of the house just the same. So don't wait. Do it now. Enjoy it now. Call us at 1-800-NEW-BATH or visit us at metrobath.com. That's metrobath.com. Bathroom remodeling. It's what we do. It's all we do.
728.
Traffic and weather on the 8s and when it breaks.
In the district, Constitution Avenue at 17th Northwest, the crash in the intersection. Traffic getting by to the right both ways on Constitution Avenue at 17th Street. And on the inner loop of the Beltway, heavy and slow coming around from College Park to a point just before exit 23 Kenilworth Avenue. Left lane is blocked with a crash on the outer loop. There is activity on the left shoulder, and that is attracting a lot of attention on the outer loop. But on the outer loop, the travel lanes are open. Southbound on 202, south of Watkins Park Drive and past the FOP Lodge. And before you get to 725, did have the crash there. But that should be in the process of clearing now. The tow trucks have been there for a while. And in Virginia, on 95 southbound, caller finds the crash before Backlick Road and blocking the right lane. Before 123, a crash blocks the left lane, and there was another one before Dale Boulevard along the right side of the roadway. And on 66 eastbound in Falls Church after exit 71, Fairfax Drive and Glebe Road, a new crash there along the right side of the roadway. The Shens and meet with manufacturers and builders. The Log and Timber Home Show.com. Bob Indler, WTOP Traffic.
Over 3/4 of an inch of rainfall today at Reagan National Airport, and thankfully, we have a break on the way coming. Sunshine back in the forecast as we head into the middle of the work week. Tonight, the skies will clear. It will be chilly. 40s in suburbs, lower 50s inside the Capital Beltway. Sunshine and a beautiful day tomorrow. Low to mid-60s for your Wednesday. Thursday, clouds will increase, but a cooler day. Highs will be in the 50s after some early sunshine. 50s on Friday with clouds, chilly temperatures, and rainfall moving back in. Rain is out of here, though, for the weekend. Just chilly with partly to mostly sunny skies. Highs in the 40s. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Steve Prince out.
59 degrees in the nation's capital. It's also 59 in Fredericksburg, 57 in Frederick, Maryland, and at BWI Marshall.
From Richmond to Baltimore, from the Chesapeake to the Shenandoah, this is WTOP, Washington's top news, on air and online at WTOP.com.
Good evening, I'm Dimitri Sotis.
And I'm Veronica Robinson. Kira Dowd at the editor's desk coming up.
I'm Max Smith at the election desk with the latest winners and returns. Will the Congresswoman from Virginia pull out a victory? This is Kyle Cooper with the Comstock campaign in Ashburn.
High hopes here for victory. I'm Dick Uliano with the Jennifer Wexton campaign in Sterling, Virginia.
Covering the political battle for Virginia U.S. Senate seat, I'm Mitchell Miller in Northern Virginia.
And a closer look at Trumpism's effect on midterm voters with WTOP Capitol Hill correspondent Dave McConnell.
The Dow up 173, NASDAQ up 47, S&P up 17.
The college basketball season is underway with 6 local games. I'm Jonathan Warner. It's 7:31.
have less than 30 minutes left to get in line to vote in Maryland and D.C. Polls closed in Virginia about a half hour ago. Naturally, those who got in line in time are waiting to vote now. WTOP's Max Smith joins us live from the election desk.
ABC News projects that in Virginia, Senator Tim Kaine has fended off a challenge from Prince William County Board Chair Corey Stewart, holding that seat for the Democrats. Elsewhere in the closely watched 10th congressional district in Virginia, Loudoun County has turned in a lot of its results to the State Board of Elections. And right now, Jennifer Wexton, the state senator, Democrat, challenging Congresswoman Barbara Comstock, is leading 56% to 43%, with about half of those ballots counted, giving her a big positive look now in a lot of the other congressional races so far in Virginia. Just a handful of precincts reporting, so too early to say, although some of those Republican areas have counted first. So the Republicans, for now, with very few precincts counted, are in the lead in the 1st, 2nd, 5th, and 7th congressional districts. In D.C., we're watching the council races. In Maryland, the governor's race, General Assembly, Congress, and local county leadership raising problems with voting lines in parts of Prince George's County. As long as you're in line in Maryland or D.C. by 8 p.m., you will be able to vote. Live at the election desk, Max Smith, WTOP News.
As we heard in Max's report, Tim Kaine of Virginia is the projected winner in the Senate race for another 6-year term. WTOP's Mitchell Miller is on Skype from Falls Church with tonight.
The political party was just getting underway here when word of the projection came down right after the polls closed at 7, and the cheers quickly followed. There were some cheers and claps and hugs among campaign workers. Many appeared to be surprised the race was so fast. But unlike in many other races, polls consistently show Democratic incumbent with a sizable lead in the polls. The latest indicated it was in the double digits. So unlike when Kaine was elected 6 years ago over George Allen, it appears Democrats will have a night of extensive celebration. We'll, of course, still be following the breakdown of the vote and where Stewart did well to give of what could happen in other Virginia races. In Falls Church, Mitchell Miller, WTOP News.
WTOP's Kyle Cooper is with the Barbara Comstock campaign in Ashburn.
A handful of supporters have trickled into Comstock's election night gathering, a remarkably small hotel conference room. Voters I talked to are not sure how it's going to turn out tonight. But what about the political climate going forward?
It's up in the air. Either way, either side's not going to like the outcome. Doesn't matter who's getting elected because we're all hosed.
Comstock supporters do think today's brisk turnout helps their chances. In Ashburn, Kyle Cooper, WTOP News.
I'm Dick Iuliano with the Jennifer Wexton Congressional Campaign in Sterling, Virginia. Campaign workers and supporters are expected to fill up the grand ballroom this hour here at the Dulles Airport Marriott. Hopes are high the Virginia state senator can make the jump to Capitol Hill.
We feel very good about what we're seeing so far.
Wexton campaign spokesman Aaron Fritchner says the heavy voter turnout seems likely to help Democrat Wexton in her bid to unseat 10th District Republican Congresswoman Barbara Comstock.
We're seeing a lot of good turnout in places which we have reason to believe will be Democratic.
This is one of the marquee House races in the nation in which Democrats hope to flip a Republican seat in their bid to gain control of the House. Dick Iuliano, WTOP News.
It is 7:34.
Polls closing throughout the Eastern time zone, along with some Midwestern states, and ABC News now projecting that Senators Bernie Sanders of Vermont and Tim Kaine of Virginia have won re-election. Across the country, a massive turnout.
They started lining up at dawn in high school gyms in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, parking garages in Atlanta, where people waited more than 3 hours to vote. In Knox County, Tennessee, the power went out, so poll workers pulled out their flashlights, citizens voting in the dark.
ABC's Matt Gutman. Although President Trump is not on the ballot, many voters making it about him, both for.
My brother-in-law has a job he hadn't had for 3 years. My brother has a job he hadn't had in 5 years. You know, they're happy, and, you know, this wouldn't have happened without Trump.
And against.
I cannot stand the president. I think he's just a faker and a liar, and I hope he gets impeached.
With continuing coverage, Election 2018, I'm Dave Packer, ABC News.
You can see up-to-the-minute results at WTOP.com. Tonight on My Take, WTOP commentator Clinton Yates says a working election day is the best kind.
Today was the day that the U.S. determined its upcoming future on Capitol Hill. All the while, the president's number one enemy, quote, the media, has been hard at work trying to relay to you the dizzying amount of information that comes along on the first Tuesday of November. But as a journalist in the business, Election Day is your Super Bowl. The thrill of being in the newsroom as results and reactions roll in is genuinely something I miss from my days covering things directly related to politics. So, while the grandest leader of them all is taking potshots at people, the media is taking notes. Because no matter who's elected and who's failed, the information still has to get out to the American people. Which is why when it comes to this job, today is my favorite day of the year. I'm Clinton Yates, and that's my take.
Clinton Yates, part of commentary and analysis from all sides. Stay with us for commentator Chris Core at 8:50 at WTO and at WTOP.com.
7:37 on WTOP. Our own Capitol Hill correspondent Dave McConnell with some thoughts as we get the earliest of returns tonight. Stay with us.
Stabbing or burning pains, tingling and numbness, cramps in your feet and legs, feeling like a sock is balled up under your foot. This is how neuropathy sufferers describe their nerve pain. Now there's a drug-free and non-surgical treatment for neuropathy at Virginia Family Chiropractic. We use a comprehensive approach combining high-dose laser, nerve regeneration methods, and balance therapies customized for each patient. We can rehabilitate damaged nerves and restore nerve function to get you back to the activities you enjoy. Our treatments are non-surgical, drug, and pain-free. Best of all, they're effective. If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, you don't have to endure the pain or the side effects of drugs like gabapentin or Neurontin any longer. A consultation to learn if you're a candidate for a drug-free, non-surgical treatment is just $75 when you mention this ad. Virginia Family Chiropractic. Call us 571-350-3520 or click virginiafamilychiropractic.com.
WTOP News. Veterans across the country need your help. The sacrifices our servicemen and women make to protect us often come at a great cost. Transitioning from the battlefield to the home front has never been more difficult. You could make a difference in the life of a veteran by donating a car to the Purple Heart Foundation. All donations are tax deductible. Donate your car at purpleheartvehicledonation.org. Purple Heart. Our healthcare interoperability matters. Every day, HIEs powered by InterSystems HealthShare serve over 200 million people, connecting millions of disparate health records. This not only gives patients the freedom to get the care they need, but also streamlines how they access it while reducing risks. For a proven interoperable healthcare solution, look to InterSystems, the power behind what matters.
Good evening, 7:38.
Right now, get a new roof for just $99 a month at longroofing.com.
Traffic and weather on the 8s and when it breaks.
On the Beltway inner loop before exit 23 Kenilworth Avenue, fire department just arriving on the scene of the crash, blocking at least the left lane inner loop before Kenilworth Avenue. On the outer loop, police car on the left shoulder, but the lanes are open on the outer loop side. And southbound Baltimore Washington Parkway was quite slow getting to an area around 50. I believe whatever was in the roadway has cleared. But southbound 202, heavy and slow getting it up. Or Marlboro, the crash was after Watkins Park Drive. I believe that's out of the roadway now. And traffic on 50 heading out toward Annapolis and the Bay Bridge is pretty quiet. On 270, things are winding down nicely. Same with 95 running well between the two beltways. And inner loop of the beltway running well out of Tyson's headed for 270 now. Virginia, 95 southbound before Backlick Road, the crash along the right. There was another one before 123 blocking the left lane. I believe the one at Dale Boulevard's out of the roadway. But 66 eastbound after Fairfax Drive and Glebe Road, the crash along the right side of the roadway there. Aerojet Rocketdyne's power and propulsion systems provide for a modern defense and push the boundaries of space exploration. Learn more at rocketdyne.com. Bob Inler, WTOP Traffic.
Clearing skies as we head through the course of tonight. Thankfully, behind the cold front and the storm that brought today's rainfall, overnight lows in the 40s in suburbs, lower 50s in Washington. Sunshine and beautiful tomorrow, a great fall day, highs low to mid 60s. Now Thursday, we start with some sunshine. Clouds will increase, a cooler day. We're back in the 50s. Storm system will approach on Friday, bringing some rain. Otherwise, lots of clouds and chilly temperatures with highs in the low to mid 50s. Cold front swoops through late Friday, so Saturday and Sunday look chilly, back in the 40s with a partly to mostly sunny sky. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Steve Prince-Avalle.
58 degrees in Washington, lows in the 40s tonight.
We go now to to WTOP's Max Smith at the WTOP election desk.
Checking some of these local races, Prince William County School Board race is extremely tight between Babar Latif and Allison Satterwhite, within just a few hundred votes, with the absentee ballots left to count that will swing the race. Meantime, in Leesburg, Kelly Burke looks to be well out in front for another term as mayor. Live at the election desk, Max Smith, WTOP News.
The projection from ABC News is a victory tonight by incumbent Senator in Virginia Tim Kaine, the Democrat, over Corey Stewart, the Republican challenger. And regardless of how the midterm elections turn out tonight, President Trump may have at least one thing to celebrate, the Stewart-Kaine race notwithstanding. That is President Trump's mission to remake the Republican Party in his own image.
And joining us live now with what to watch for nationally, WTOP Capitol Hill correspondent Dave McConnell. Can we tell anything from the early returns, Dave?
Not a lot. As we've been reporting, Tim Kaine projected to win his re-election bid against Republican Corey Stewart. As far as those Virginia House races go, still too early to know how embattled Republican Barbara Comstock's doing against Democrat Jennifer Wexton. Further downstate, Republican Dave Bratt, the Tea Partier, is facing a strong challenge from Democrat Abigail Spanberger. If either of these two lose tonight, that could be a sign of distress for Republicans in Virginia and elsewhere. Otherwise, Republican Rob Whitman, Democrat Jerry Conley, Democrat Don Beyer, they're all going to win their races. But again, it's too early to tell about how the Republicans are doing.
Now, with members of Congress, that is, members of the House, reelected every 2 years, it's been fascinating to watch Comstock's district literally change around her. Is that a fair assessment that she may have not been too conservative 2 years ago or 4 years ago, but now that is, at least among some voters, a knock against her?
Yeah, I think she's threading a fine thread between being a Trumper as much as she can and then trying to deal with the people who don't like Trump in her base. And part of her district is very, very pro-Trump, and part of it is very, very in the other direction. And she's successfully been able to do that kind of thing, but this time it's really tough. And she's really, her back is against the wall, and it's going to be interesting to see if her local service, her personality, her record, the fact that a lot of people really like her is going to get her through.
Dave, as we wait for the final tally in that race, some experts have said the way that particular race goes between Comstock and Wexton will determine how the House goes tonight.
That's very true. And not only for that, but it would be Dave Bratt against Spanberger and other Republicans in the state. Normally they do very well. This year they're having a tough time. But if we start seeing Republicans in Virginia and other states that we would have expected once to win start losing, that could be the start of something really, really big, or certainly something big enough for Democrats.
In our final 30 seconds with you for this segment, McKay Coppins writes in The Atlantic, Trump has already won the midterms. And he clarifies, even if Republicans lose the House tonight, it's unlikely that the president's grip on the party will loosen anytime soon. What do you think about that?
That could be very true. That was an interesting article I commended to our listeners in the current Atlantic, a monthly magazine, which I read myself. And what he does is he traces the event of Newt Gingrich, how he's remade the Republican Party, made it into a really tough, hard battle, hard scrabble party, take no prisoners kind of a party. And no matter what happens now, it's his thinking, and a lot of analysts' thinking, is that's going to continue for the grand old party.
All right, Dave, thank you so much. That is WTOP Capitol Hill correspondent Dave McConnell. Stay with us here on WTOP as we continue our coverage of the midterm elections of 2018. It is 7:44.
My number two does not look like a number two. I don't know what to call it. Is there a number three?
Table for 4, please. Anything close to the restroom.
A middle seat with these stomach problems? That's my fear of flying.
Sound like you? If it does, you could be one of the many people with a digestive condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Even if you don't know what EPI is, you might know the symptoms: frequent diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain. If you have even just one of these symptoms, you could still have EPI, because not everybody experiences EPI the same way, which is why it's so important to open up to your doctor about all your symptoms. And the good news is, EPI is manageable, so don't keep a lid on it. Go to identifyepi.com, complete the symptom checker, and use it to have a conversation with your doctor. Don't keep a lid on it. Visit identifyepi.com. Brought to you by AbbVie.
We are following the latest election results locally and nationally. Another update from ABC News is a few minutes away. See up-to-the-minute results at WTOP.com.
Sports at 15 and 45. Brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Don't settle for less than a Honda.
Here's Jonathan Warner.
A big night in college basketball as well, with the hoops season tipping off. Maryland just getting underway at home against Delaware. George Washington off to a 30-11 start against Stony Brook. George Mason leading Penn 27-24. Old Dominion on top of Navy 22-14. It's Virginia leading Towson 20-12. All those first quarter scores. Georgetown gets started at 8:30 against Maryland Eastern Shore. Also at 8:30 in the NBA, the Wizards in Dallas. And in hockey, it's what have you done for me lately? The Chicago Blackhawks firing coach Joe Quenneville and two of his assistants. In 2015, Quenneville won the third of his 3 Stanley Cups with the Blackhawks. Jonathan Warner, WTOP Sports.
Coming up, we are following the latest election results locally and nationally. Another update from ABC News coming up in a few minutes. You can see the up-to-the-minute results at WTOP.com. 746.
At Kaiser Permanente, we're for the farmers market goers, outdoor explorers, cholesterol lowerers, and positive thinkers. We're also for our community. It's why our unique approach to care makes us the nation's leader in screenings for breast cancer. And we're also leaders in preventive care, like controlling high blood pressure and providing wellness coaching, helping you live a healthy life the way you see fit. That's what it means to thrive your way every day. Kaiser Permanente. Visit kp.org to learn more.
Kaiser Foundation Health Plan of the Atlantic States Incorporated, 2101 East Jefferson Street, Rockville, Maryland, 20852.
Operation Binge Watch underway. Popcorn?
Check.
DVR ready?
Check.
Extra blankets because it's so cold in here?
Check.
You know, we wouldn't have to worry about this if...
I know.
Warm up with natural gas. A natural gas furnace brings warmer heat, greater comfort, and is better for your budget. It's the energy source that keeps you comfortable. With manufacturer rebates on select furnaces, combined with Washington Gas rebates, you can save even more. To learn more, visit WashingtonGas.com.
Hi, I'm Rich McKenzie, owner of Metropolitan Bath and Tile. Did you know that usually 1 out of every 3 tiles are imperfect? At Metropolitan, we discard all tiles with imperfections is as perfect as possible, even though the manufacturer states that imperfections are to be expected and are within acceptable guidelines. At Metropolitan, we believe that anything less than our absolute best is unacceptable. So call 1-800-NEW-BATH or visit us at metrobath.com.
Are you hiring? With Indeed, you can post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates in an online dashboard. Get started at Indeed.com/hire.
Good evening, 740.
Traffic and weather on the 8s and when it breaks.
At Constitution at 17th Northwest, police are still on the scene of the crash in the intersection, getting by to the right, both east and westbound on Constitution Avenue. And traffic running pretty well on 50 heading out toward Annapolis and the Bay Bridge, and also running pretty well on the Baltimore-Washington Parkway. Northbound, you slow down only briefly getting up through Greenbelt, and southbound traffic is running well now, headed down through Chevrolet. Now, on the inner loop of the Beltway before Route 1 College Park, listener finds the broken down van, and that's in the second lane from the left. But then you're still caught up in delays getting around the crash before exit 23 Kenilworth Avenue, and that's along the left side of the roadway. And traffic on 270 is running pretty well now. Beltway's starting to clear out nicely all the way around. And meanwhile, traffic on 66 is running pretty freely outside the Beltway, but inside the Beltway did have the crash on the eastbound side of 66 after Fairfax Drive and Glebe Road, and that was along the right side of the roadway. And in Springfield, southbound on 95, before Backlick Road, the crash was along the right side. I believe the crash farther south at 123, that has cleared along with the one at Dale Boulevard. Lanes are open at each of those. Aerojet Rocketdyne's power and propulsion systems provide for a modern defense and push the boundaries of space exploration. Learn more at rocketdyne.com. Bob Inman, WTOP Traffic.
We now have your 4-day forecast with Storm Team 4's Steve Prince-Valley.
Veronica, we're clear now, thankfully, following all today's rainfall. Temperatures dropping through the 50s, upper 40s to mid 40s in suburbs, low 50s in Washington overnight. Terrific weather tomorrow, sunshine, a fantastic fall day, low to mid 60s. Sun to start Thursday gives way to clouds, upper 50s. We're dry through Thursday, Friday, rain returns and chilly, low to mid 50s, but partly sunny to mostly sunny this weekend and chilly back in the 40s. Numbers right now, 53 Purcellville, 55 Frederick, 57 Reston. Dimitri.
All right, Steve, update now on the Jennifer Wexton-Barbara Comstock race in Northern Virginia for a House seat there. We're live to the election desk. And Max Smith.
It's Jennifer Wexton in the lead right now, 58% to 41% over the incumbent Republican Barbara Comstock. Right now, we're still waiting on Clark, Frederick County, much of Fairfax County, and Winchester to be added in, but this does include much of Loudoun County, so this is a very good sign for Wexton, and her camp is extremely optimistic. Some of her supporters even putting out statements already congratulating her. We're not quite there yet, though. Live at the election desk, Max Smith, WTOP News.
All right, Max, it is 7:51.
Polls have closed in 3 more states, including West Virginia, where there's no word yet on the Senate race between Democratic incumbent Joe Manchin and Republican Patrick Morrisey. ABC News is projecting Bernie Sanders as the winner in Vermont, same for Tim Kaine in Virginia's Senate race. But what's important to voters? ABC's Scott Goldberg has more from the decision desk.
Voters by a wide margin say health care is the most important issue facing the country when given a choice of 4 issues. And in our preliminary exit polls, voters say Democrats are more likely than Republicans to protect health care for people with pre-existing conditions by a margin of 58 to 34%.
The other issues ranked by importance: immigration, the economy, and gun policy. Due to long lines and other issues, voting hours extended in some places, including 3 precincts in Gwinnett County, Georgia. The race for governor there, one of the more important ones nationwide. With continuing coverage, election 2018, Brian Clark, ABC News.
And with just minutes left to get in line to vote in Maryland, there's an issue with paper ballots in Prince George's County. NBC4's Tracy Wilkins with more about that.
Some polling places in Prince George's County are running out of paper ballots. We were at the Upper Marlboro Community Center when new ballots arrived there, but for 2.5 hours, folks there had no way to vote, and plenty of people were waiting on those new ballots. We're also told that Green Valley Academy in Temple Hills, Brandywine Elementary in Brandywine, and Faith United Methodist in Accokeek are also out of ballots. We're waiting to hear from the Prince George's County Board of Elections on exactly what went wrong here. In the meantime, if you make it to one of these polling places before 8 p.m. and sign up, you will be able to vote as soon as new ballots arrive tonight. In Prince George's County, I'm Tracy Wilkins.
Coming up, slow down those electric
What's up, little bitch?
Milling around, looking at the television set, and waiting for Barbara Comstock, who has not yet arrived here to address her supporters. It's a small room, probably less than 100 people at this point. They've been here for about 45 minutes. Now that Comstock has officially